traumatic incident it actually was.
Put their trust in me to keep him safe.
She exercised her right to defend her livelihood and property.
Violent, and the victim made an effort to get help.
Welcome to the Halloween week specials. We've got something thrilling for you this week. Every day a new video will drop, and hidden in each one is a letter. Watch closely to collect all 7 letters by the end of the week and form a secret word. Think you've cracked the code? Comment your guess and join the fun. Only one winner will be chosen to receive a mystery box, but what's inside will stay a secret until it's delivered. Important. To qualify, you must comment on each Halloween special, be subscribed, and guess the word in the comments underneath the final video. Good luck and enjoy the hunt. Imagine feeling safe in the comfort of your own home, only to discover that your security camera has captured something terrifying, something you'd rather never have seen. Today we're counting down the 30 most disturbing things ever caught on home security cameras. These terrifying moments will leave you questioning how secure your home really is. Before we begin, a warning. The last story is truly shocking, and this time it really is. But first, let's dive into the eerie footage from our first shocking discovery. It's a quiet April night in 2022 in Pasadena, Texas. Emma, along with her 2 best friends, Olivia and Liam, are enjoying a relaxing evening at her home. But what they don't know is that they're not alone. Lurking in the shadows, 2 masked and armed men have been watching them all day, planning their next move. Out of nowhere, the robbers break into the house, shattering the safety of Emma's home. With her parents away on a wedding anniversary trip, Emma and her friends are left to face this terrifying intrusion alone, or so it seems. Emma's parents, completely unaware of the horror happening back home, receive an unexpected alert on their phones. The security system has detected movement. Their hearts race as they open the mobile Ring app, only to be met with the terrifying sight of masked men inside their home. Desperate to stop the situation from escalating, the parents use the app to send a stern warning to the intruders.
Hey, who's in my house? I got you on camera.
The cops are on the way.
The cops are on their way. My neighbors are there. They're calling the cops right now. Y'all better get out of my house. Y'all better get out of my house now.
For a tense moment, the masked men freeze as they realize they've been caught. After what feels like an eternity, the intruders flee. Luckily, thanks to the parents' quick actions and the surveillance camera app, this incident didn't escalate, and no shots were fired. But we can't say the same about the next video. It's 2020, a quiet evening in Florida. A family has invited a few close friends over for a relaxed evening together. But what begins as a peaceful gathering quickly spirals into a nightmare. Without warning, 2 armed gunmen force their way into the home, sending shockwaves of terror through the living room. Shots ring out, shattering the silence as bullets tear through the house. Panic sets in. Amid the chaos, the wife, who had been in her bedroom with their 1-year-old son, is frozen in fear. But as the gunfire continues, her instincts kick in.
Don't shoot me! My son is in here!
He started shooting at me. They shot at me about 7 times.
With her heart pounding, she knows she must act. She fires back at the intruders, hoping to drive them away. But the danger isn't over yet. Her husband and a friend rush into the room, desperate to shield his family from further harm. With adrenaline surging, the husband takes the gun from his wife's trembling hands and charges after the attackers, firing shots as they flee into the night.
They could have killed me, they could have killed my son. They were shooting right over his head, they didn't care.
The house was covered in bullet holes, but miraculously no one got hurt. It's good to see that the family worked together to stop the intruders. But what if it's your own family you have to be afraid of? It's a summer evening on August 13th, 2024. 35-year-old George arrives home from work. He's greeted by an unexpected sight.
He's coming.
Who's coming? Talk to me.
Anna, a teenage girl from the neighborhood, standing on his porch in tears. She's scared. Her eyes keep darting behind her as if she's being followed. George opens the door, letting a sobbing Anna inside, where his 2 young kids are playing. As he fumbles for the phone to call 911, something disturbing happens.
Oh, please. Please, man, for me. Oh my God. Please. Oh, please.
Anna's stepdad breaks in through the back door of George's house. Terrified, Anna runs to the other side of the house, desperately seeking safety. Without hesitation, George stands between Anna and her approaching stepfather, refusing to back down.
Get out of my house! No. Get out of my house! Now!
Then, in a blur of emotions, Anna bursts out of the house in tears. Meanwhile, Chase, George's older son, scrambles to call the police. And that's where the video cuts off. What happened to Anna and her stepdad remains unknown, but I hope Anna is safe. It's shocking to see how a young child could be so afraid of her own family. The very people who are supposed to make her feel safe. Just like your home, which should be a sanctuary. But as this video shows, it isn't always that safe place. It's a normal day in Maryland when a young woman decides to record a TikTok video, dancing playfully in front of her camera inside the comfort of her apartment. But then, something unexpected happens just seconds into the video.
Oh, fun! Who are you? Who are you? What?
Suddenly, a man appears. He stands there, frozen, his expression unreadable. She confronts him, trying to make sense of the situation, but he stays calm, pretending to be a friend.
Who are you? Who are you? Please get out. Please get out. No, please get out.
Are you sure?
Yes. Who are you? Please get out of my apartment right now. Please get out of my apartment right now. Get out. Get out. Hello? Please come in.
With her heart racing, she picks up her camera, every instinct telling her to leave. Without hesitation, she slips out the back door, heading to the next apartment for safety. But the question remains, who is this man, and what were his intentions? To this day, it remains a mystery. It might be better for her that the person remained a mystery, because what would you do if someone you've known well for a long time suddenly did something terrible to you? This is the story of Lynn, a young mother, exhausted but happy, picking up her 6-year-old daughter May after a long day at school. But as they make their way home, neither of them knows the horror that is about to unfold. As Lynn walks up the stairs to their apartment, something feels off. A flicker of the hallway lights catches her attention. She glances at the CCTV camera, unease creeping in, but she tries to shake it off. She opens the door for May, not realizing that what awaits them will change their lives forever. The chilling aftermath unfolds in the comments. It's revealed that the attacker was Lynn's ex-partner. In a horrific turn of events, he had raped Lynn shortly after the terrifying encounter. It's disturbing to realize that people like this exist in the world, and that this horrible incident happened while the young daughter, May, was likely watching it unfold. This revelation leads to a police investigation into his whereabouts as the search for justice begins. It's unfortunate that Lynn couldn't defend herself against her deranged ex, but what if you could, and save your home and family from a dangerous situation? This is the story of Katerina, a mother of 3, who was simply packing up her belongings for an upcoming move. Her home was nearly empty, making it seem like the perfect target for anyone with bad intentions. But what happened next would leave her and her family forever changed. Out of nowhere, 3 armed intruders forced their way inside, their eyes set on finding cash. But they had no idea what they were about to face. They didn't expect Katerina, a mother protecting her family, to take matters into her own hands. In a split second, her instincts kicked in. She grabbed her gun, her heart racing, and fired at the intruders. Panic erupted. The 3 men scattered, running in all directions, desperate to escape the unexpected resistance. One of them made a frantic leap through the glass door, shattering it in a final act of desperation. But the injuries he sustained were too severe. He never made it. The other 2 vanished into the darkness, their identities still unknown. But Katerina's quick thinking had saved her family, though the terror of that night still lingers. This incident serves as a chilling reminder. When danger strikes, it can happen when you least expect it. Thanks to Katerina's quick thinking, she made it out unharmed. But not everyone is that fortunate, as you will see in the next story. On September 27, 2022, Christian Sanchez's life takes a tragic turn. After what seemed like a normal day, Christian arrives home from work and parks his car. But just as he steps out, the unexpected happens. A group of masked thugs suddenly ambushes him, forcing their way into his home.
I'm opening. What's your name? I'm opening. What's your name? Hold on, I'm opening. What's your name?
You can hear the man asking for his name, Christian, too afraid to speak up, opens the door. The only thing he manages to say is that there are children inside. His only request is to spare them.
What's your name? I'm opening. What's your name? Hold on, I'm opening. What's your name? What's your name? Hold on, I'm opening. Smoke. Compare with me. There's kids in the house? Yes, please. Hey, bro, that's all I asked for, bro. I don't give a. Where's the money at? Where's everybody at? I don't give a. Where's everybody out? Sheriff's department. Sheriff's office, county sheriff's. Get over here. No. Get in the middle. Yeah. Now.
Christian, only 22 years old, is seen at gunpoint, surrounded by these masked men as they drag him into his own house. What starts as a robbery quickly escalates into something far more horrifying. The armed men not only rob him, but tragically, they also take his life. Thanks to the camera footage, the police were able to track down 4 men from the group, and they were taken into custody. As unsettling as this moment is, what you're about to see later will leave you on the edge of your seat. But for now, let's delve into this shocking encounter. It's around 9 a.m. on January 23rd, when 18-year-old Lex's morning takes a terrifying turn. After what seems like a routine walk with her dogs, she returns home, unaware that danger is waiting just outside her door. The moment Lex reaches her apartment door, Vasilu strikes. He grabs her without warning, his grip tight as he begins dragging her down the stairs. The dogs bark in panic, their cries filling the stairwell. In a desperate moment, Lex's mother, Adriana, hears the commotion. Without hesitation, she rushes out of the apartment, heart pounding, and races after the kidnapper. After a series of confrontations against all odds, Lex is saved, thanks to the courage of her mother and the loyalty of her dogs. But the terrifying question lingers. How close did she come to being taken forever? It's unsettling to realize how often we take the safety of our everyday surroundings for granted. If Adriana wasn't there, Lex's outcome could be much worse. But now, let's move on to something even more disturbing. It's September 30th, and Olivia is enjoying a peaceful evening with her two sons, 16-year-old Jason and 5-year-old Jose. But their quiet family time is about to be shattered. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Jason, unaware of the danger waiting on the other side, casually walks to answer it. But the moment the door opens, everything changes. Jason is forced back inside as a group of armed, masked men storm into their home, turning a normal evening into a nightmare. Jason and Olivia are held at gunpoint, their lives hanging in the balance. But in a moment of unexpected bravery, little Jose steps up. This small child, facing overwhelming danger, refuses to be a bystander. The armed group managed to rob the family and, 5 minutes later, fled their home. Unfortunately, the men were never caught because of the way they had covered their heads. But luckily, no one was hurt. However, the haunting experience will stay with the Gorlu family forever. It's October 2016 in Florida. A family wakes up one morning to discover something strange. Multiple items missing from their home. After checking their home security cameras, what they discovered left them shaken to their core. At exactly 1:30 a.m., the cameras captured something unexpected. Terrified by the footage, the family immediately calls the police, who launched an investigation. But the man was never caught. He disappeared into the night, leaving behind nothing but fear and questions. It's unsettling to realize that someone could be watching you while you were sleeping, but it's nothing compared to what you're about to see next. It's March 27th, 2023. An ordinary day, or so it seemed. That is, until the peaceful quiet is shattered. Caitlin, working from home, suddenly hears loud bangs on the front door, followed by the sound of breaking glass. Her heart races. When she glances outside, she spots two men. Without a moment to spare, she rushes to hide in the bathroom, praying it's enough to keep her safe. This entire terrifying ordeal is captured on camera. The danger escalates as one of the intruders follows her into the room, trying to force open the bathroom door. Caitlin can hear his every move. After failing to break in, he leaves to bring his partner.
Who's that? Where's it at? Where's it at, man? We ain't gonna hurt you. She's in the shower. Watch out. To the left. Give me your phone. Give me your... Where's it at?
Then, the nightmare becomes reality. The two men break into the bathroom. Caitlin shrieks in terror as they rob her, ransacking the room in search of more valuables. Helpless and terrified, she can only hope they leave soon. And so they did. After nearly stealing all of her valuable belongings, they fled the house. It is unknown if the intruders were ever caught by the police. Luckily, the woman remained unharmed. But what if the intruder isn't after your belongings, but is targeting you? This brutal scene was captured on a Ring doorbell camera, giving a chilling glimpse into the horrifying moments that unfolded outside a woman's home. She was simply walking back from a nearby friend's house when it happened. What she didn't know was that she was being followed. A man, later identified as 32-year-old Louis Lamontrez Meadows, stalked her. As she neared her front door, he attacked, beating her mercilessly and eventually dragging her towards a waiting car. The next morning, a disturbing discovery was made. Neighbors checked their security cameras after finding unfamiliar items in their yard. What they saw sent chills down their spines. They immediately reported the footage to the police, setting off a frantic search for the missing woman. Hours later, police found her, tied up and helpless in Meadows' home. Luckily, the cops found her just in time. Otherwise, it likely would have cost her her life. This terrifying encounter is shocking to witness, but maybe it could have been prevented if they had the same security camera as in the next video. This video was captured by a home security camera, arguably one of the best in the world. Two men are seen walking down a narrow path beside a house, their intentions clear. It seems like they're planning to break in from the back of the home. But what they don't know is that this camera is one step ahead of them.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
The camera's automated message announces, "Hi, you are currently being recorded." The men freeze. They look up, spotting the camera. And in that split second, their plan unravels. Without hesitation, they turn and walk away. It's obvious they knew they didn't belong there. Thanks to the quick-thinking camera, what could have been a dangerous situation ended without incident. It's great that this incident was resolved, but the same can't be said for the video you're about to watch now. This chilling footage was captured by a woman named Alicia on December 21st, 2023. It all started when she heard strange, loud thuds against her window. Curious and alarmed, she began recording. But what she caught on camera was far more terrifying than she could have imagined. A man is seen banging his head violently against her window. When Alicia pulls the curtain back, he pauses for a moment, staring at her in confusion, before continuing to smash his head into the glass. The horror of the moment intensifies as even a passerby outside captures the disturbing incident on camera. Fearing for her safety, Alicia immediately calls the police, who race to her home. The man, still relentlessly bashing his head against the window, seems unstoppable. But just as things spiral further, the authorities arrive and pull him down. Alicia later told the police she had no idea who he was. It became clear that the man was mentally unstable and likely under the influence of heavy drugs. He was taken into custody and brought to the police station. Thankfully, Alicia never saw him again, but the terrifying memory of that night remains. Luckily, the man never came back, but we can't say the same about the incident that happened to this couple. In 2015, a couple in San Jose, California, experienced a nightmare no one expects to live through, not once, but twice. After being victims of a terrifying home invasion, the intruders were never identified. Shaken by the experience, the police advised the couple to invest in home security cameras to protect against any future break-ins. So they did, setting up 6 cameras around their home. Little did they know these cameras would capture something horrifying just months later. On May 8th of the same year, The cameras picked up two men, dressed in black, scaling the backyard fence. They creep toward the house and find an unlocked sliding glass door. Once inside, the intruders make their way into the kitchen, their first move, disconnecting the phone on the counter, cutting off any hope of calling for help. They start rummaging through cabinets and drawers, and from this, they find kitchen knives, weapons they take with them as they head upstairs. Then things take a terrifying turn. As the men search the rooms upstairs, one of them comes across a locked door, the master bedroom. He presses his ear to the door and hears something unsettling. Inside, a baby is crying. But that's not all. Inside the room is Rosie, a family friend who was babysitting the couple's child. Hearing the cry, the man signals to his partner. Instead of being spooked and fleeing, the men make a chilling decision. They don't run, they attack. Aggressively, they begin kicking the door, their force so strong that they manage to kick a hole in it. But it doesn't stop there. They thrust their knives through the hole, trying to reach whoever is inside. In a desperate attempt to protect the child, Rosie grabs the baby and retreats to the bathroom, locking the door behind her. Her heart pounds as she screams through the door that she's called the police. Finally, it works. The men, realizing they're out of time, flee the house before fully breaking into the bedroom. But the damage had been done. The police reviewed all the footage, but despite having clear video evidence, they were never able to identify the men. Their motives remain a chilling mystery to this day. Luckily, the child and Rosie remained unharmed thanks to Rosie's quick thinking. Unfortunately, we can't say the same about this elderly man who tries to enter his home. In this disturbing video, we see 70-year-old Dennis, a grandfather returning home from the bank. What Dennis doesn't realize is that he's being followed. A masked robber, armed with a pistol, has been trailing him the entire time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when Dennis reaches his front door, that moment comes.
Hey, don't move. Hey! Shut up. Look, give me, take everything out your pocket. Give me. No.
As Dennis opens the door to his home, the robber suddenly approaches him, grabbing his hand and delivering a vicious blow. Dennis cries out for help, his voice filled with desperation. The robber forcefully steals his wallet, leaving the elderly man defenseless as he flees the scene. It's a heart-wrenching moment. Not even 2 seconds later, Dennis's family opens the door, clearly shaken by what just happened. But by then, it's too late. The armed robber has already disappeared, and despite their efforts, the police were never able to identify him. This incident serves as a stark reminder to be aware of your surroundings before entering your front door, and that's exactly what you're about to witness in the next video. It's the night of September 6th, 2022, when Lisa and her 14-year-old son Troy return home after a long day, completely unaware of the danger lurking just behind them. As Lisa unlocks the door and steps inside, Troy follows closely. But neither of them realizes the threat that's approaching.
Go shower really fast. I need you to go shower.
Moments after they shut the door, believing they're safely inside, Lisa notices something chilling through her security camera. A man is standing right outside their door.
Daniel? Who's that? Who is that? Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a guy outside, look!
The man tries to open the door, but luckily, he can't get in. Lisa calls out, her voice firm but anxious. The man steps back, but his eyes stay locked on the door, as if he's not ready to leave. After a tense moment, the man finally walks away, but his intentions remain a mystery to this day. Stalkers are terrifying people with nothing better to do in their lives. But what if someone doesn't just follow you for one day, but for months? This video features a chilling montage of clips recorded over the course of 5 months. It begins in January 2017 with a seemingly innocent encounter. A man pulls up next to a woman in his car asking if she needs a ride. The woman, feeling no immediate danger, politely declines, mentioning that she lives just around the corner. Little did she know those words would soon come back to haunt her.
You're home.
The very next day, the same car is seen lingering near her home. Over the following days, the unsettling pattern continues. The car drives by again and again, its occupant watching the house from a distance. Eventually, the man confronts the woman again, this time asking if she could help him around his house. But something about the request feels wrong. The woman refuses, trying to distance herself, but it doesn't stop him. Days later, the same man, now in a different car, leaves a note in her mailbox. This time, he writes that he still needs help around the house, but now he includes his phone number. The woman knows something is terribly off. Instead of calling him, she contacts the police, reporting the strange behavior. The tension builds as one comment suggests what everyone fears. The man may have been waiting for the right moment to snatch her. It's July 24th, 2023, when a family returns from vacation, expecting everything to be just as they left it. But what they walk into is far from normal. Their walk-in closet is a mess, clothes strewn everywhere, and the light in the room is on. At first, it seems like a break-in, but something's off. All of their valuables are still there. Nothing is missing. Disturbed and confused, they decide to check their security footage, and what they see sends chills down their spines. On the screen, a shadowy figure darts from one room to another. But here's the unsettling part. It looks like a child. But how could that be? No one was supposed to be home. And even more strange, there are no signs of forced entry. So what exactly happened here? When they uploaded their video to Reddit, people speculated it might be a ghost of a child haunting their home. Margaret Woodward, a 68-year-old woman living in Long Eaton, England, had been the victim of a string of break-ins throughout 2013. 5 times her home was targeted. After the relentless invasions, she finally took the advice of the police and installed home security cameras, hoping for peace of mind. But then, a 6th break-in happened. It's around 1 a.m. when the cameras capture a man creeping through Margaret's home. Silent and deliberate, he moves around while Margaret sleeps soundly in her living room, completely unaware of the intruder's presence.
I'll administer the Narcan now. Your father will wake up right away if you want to see him.
Your choice. Look, we both know your father screwed up, but he hid the truth because it didn't hurt.
The man helps himself to her belongings, taking his time, knowing Margaret is fast asleep. But then, something changes.
I just need you to get him on the phone. He'll take your call. You guys have been friends since law school.
As a friend, I would have to advise
Yeah, he's already done 35 years.
I'm not suggesting he stay in prison.
The governor pardons him on action on condition that he pleads guilty to the prison murder and gets sentenced to time served.
An alarm goes off, startling Margaret awake. What she does next is remarkable. Grabbing her cane, she chases the intruder. Thanks to the footage from the security cameras, the police were finally able to identify the man responsible, 51-year-old Patrick Reed. He had been behind all 6 break-ins, stealing a total of around $1,000 from Margaret. But justice was finally served. Patrick Reed was sentenced to 4 years and 8 months in prison. On November 30th, 2021, a Twitter user from Dallas shared a disturbing revelation. Her doorbell camera had captured the same suspicious man standing outside her apartment almost every night for an entire month. Despite reaching out to the authorities, her cries for help had gone unanswered. In the clips captured by her Ring camera, the man can be seen standing eerily still, right outside her door. At one point, the man mutters something, but his words are faint, barely audible. His intentions remain unclear, but judging by his unsettling behavior, it's safe to assume he didn't have good intentions. As soon as the video was uploaded, it went viral, sparking concern from hundreds of viewers, all checking in to make sure the woman was safe. The fear of what might happen next loomed over everyone watching. 2 days later, the woman posted an update, explaining that her friends and family had confronted the man, and security was now on high alert. This video captures a chilling moment as an intruder breaks into a home through a window, just minutes before the babysitter and the homeowner's baby return from running errands. The timing couldn't be more terrifying. As the babysitter and baby walk through the door, unaware of the danger lurking upstairs, the thief hears them and quickly heads to the upper floor. But just as things take a turn for the worse, the babysitter hears faint footsteps. Her instincts kick in. Without hesitation, she grabs the baby and runs to the neighbor's house. Seconds later, the thief realizes he's been discovered. Panicked, he sprints out of the house and vanishes. Despite the near miss, the intruder was never caught, leaving the family shaken but thankful they escaped unharmed. In November of 2009, Joe Cummings, living in a small New York apartment, began noticing something strange. Food was disappearing from his fridge and pantry, and he was certain he wasn't the one eating it. After this went on for a while, Joe confronted his girlfriend, suspecting she might be sneaking his food. But her response only deepened the mystery. She denied it completely. Not believing her, Joe decided to take matters into his own hands. He set up a camera overnight, expecting to catch her in the act. But what he discovered the next morning was far more horrifying than he ever imagined. an unknown woman, someone who was definitely not his girlfriend, was seen climbing down from a storage area in his apartment, a place with no outside access or ventilation. Who was she, and how did she get there? The woman then walks over to the fridge and pantry, casually eating food and drinking milk, as if she belonged there. And then, the tension rises. At one point, Joe walks out of his bedroom completely unaware of the stranger in his home. She quickly hides, watching his every move. After Joe returns to his room, the woman resumes gathering food before retreating back into the storage area. The next morning, Joe immediately calls the police. When they arrive, they find the woman hiding in the storage area and arrest her. How she managed to get into Joe's apartment remains a mystery. Living on the top floor of his building, Joe suspected she may have entered through a fire escape located near the ceiling. Police believe the woman had been living in the storage area for weeks, possibly planning to rob him. But her true motives were never confirmed. Did you find this encounter unsettling? Then brace yourself for what you're about to see next. On the night of October 27th, 2016, a couple enjoying their vacation in Zimbabwe decided to take a relaxing late-night swim in the pool of their vacation home. The water was calm, and they were unwinding, completely unaware of the danger lurking nearby. But soon, something unexpected joined them in the water, and it wasn't there to relax. As the couple tried to swim out, the intruder revealed itself, an aggressive crocodile. In a terrifying moment, it unleashed its fury on the couple, lunging at them with lightning speed and biting the wife. In a desperate move, the husband quickly pulls his wife out of the water before the situation could turn deadly. It's terrifying to realize how quickly things can go wrong. Watch the next video, and you'll see how a normal situation can rapidly turn into a life-threatening danger. It's a quiet Monday afternoon in a neighborhood along North 17th Street. A 46-year-old man from Milwaukee approaches the front porch of a house and rings the doorbell. He waits, standing still, expecting someone to answer. But after several minutes of silence, there's no response. Frustrated, he rings the doorbell again, and after another moment of no answer, he turns and walks back toward the street. But just as he's about to leave, he does something disturbing. The woman was shaken to her core when a bullet shattered the glass near where she was ironing. Panic set in. She quickly took cover, her first thought rushing to her 14-year-old daughter and 2 sons. After making sure her children were unharmed, she reviewed the camera footage, and what she saw sent chills down her spine. She immediately called the police, telling them she had no idea who the man was or why he would target their home. Thankfully, the man was arrested later that same day. But the unsettling question remains: what would have happened if she had opened the door? It's a cool April afternoon, and 10-year-old Chelsea is walking home from school. A dark-colored Pontiac has been trailing her for several blocks, creeping slowly behind her. As Chelsea begins to notice, she decides to act. She quickly hides behind a large truck parked on the side of the road, hoping to lose the car. But the man in the Pontiac doesn't leave. He stops, waiting for her to reappear. Now Chelsea is left standing there, frozen, unsure of what to do next. But then the car circles back, trying to get close enough to speak to her. In a burst of fear and adrenaline, the girl makes a run for it, sprinting away to safety. But the fear still lingers. What would have happened if she hadn't acted so quickly? After multiple tips from concerned witnesses, the police launched an investigation into the suspicious car. They identified the driver, a 24-year-old man, and brought him in for questioning. But here's the chilling part. He wasn't arrested. He hadn't committed any crime they could prove, leaving the authorities with no choice but to let him go. That means the creep is still on the loose. Luckily, Chelsea was able to go to the police and they were able to help her. But what if it's the police themselves committing the crime? In a shocking video from November 16, 2022, 2 New York parole officers were caught on camera in an act of betrayal, stealing money from one of their parolees. What was supposed to be a routine inspection turned into something far more sinister.
You can share the money one other person for stuff. You don't have to think. No, as long as there's enough money to go around. I think it's a couple of
While searching the bedroom of a former inmate, they stumble upon $6,000 hidden in a shoe. The male officer quickly scribbles something down on his phone and discreetly shows it to his female partner. They exchange a glance, knowing exactly what their next move will be. They look around, making sure no one is listening, and in a moment of greed, they agree to take the money. The $6,000 is stolen, but luckily, their actions didn't go unnoticed. The cameras caught everything. In the end, justice was served, and both officers lost their jobs. Did you find this encounter unsettling? Then brace yourself for what you're about to see next. Ali Poreth, a mother of 2 daughters, one 13 years old and the other just 3, had no idea that their shopping trip on the night of February 20th, 2022 would lead to something chilling. After a normal night out, the family returned home and their security camera captured them walking inside and closing the door. But what happened next was far from normal.
Who are you talking to? Why? Why?
Moments later, a man emerges from behind their parked truck, immediately trying to open the door. Who is this man, and what does he want? He tugs on the handle a few times before walking away. But the danger isn't over. Through a neighbor's security camera, they later discovered that this wasn't just a random passerby. For the next 5 minutes, the man is seen circling the house, talking on his phone. Even more disturbing, after reviewing the footage, they realized he had been following them in his car all the way from the store. As soon as they parked, his car pulled up a few houses down, watching and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Thankfully, Allie and her daughters made it inside and locked the door before the man could get close. Allie later wrote, "I don't know what this man was planning, but I don't believe it was just a robbery. He saw an opportunity, a woman and 2 girls alone in a house, and he took it. Luckily, the woman locked the door in time and the situation didn't take a darker turn. But what happens if the intruder is already stalking you before you even get home?" On January 28, 2023, Liala was walking home from work, feeling a growing sense of unease. 2 men were following her. She tried to shake off the feeling, but when she glanced back, they were still there. Her heart raced. She picked up her pace, weaving through narrow streets, but the men kept following. When the opportunity came, Liala made a run for it, sprinting to her home and locking the door behind her. But the danger wasn't over. One of the men immediately started kicking at the door, trying to break it down. Frightened but determined, Liala came up with a bold and painful plan: boiling water. As the man managed to force the door open, she was ready. In an instant, she threw the scalding water on him and he screamed in agony, retreating in pain. The other man quickly rushed to help him at the end of the hallway. Thankfully, the two men fled, and Leala never encountered them again. But the terrifying question remains: what would have happened if she hadn't thought fast? If you find these 5 encounters disturbing, then brace yourself for what you're about to see next. This is one of the most disturbing encounters ever recorded. It was a sunny afternoon, and 14-year-old Lila was outside, watering tomatoes in her backyard while holding her baby brother Daniel. It seemed like just another ordinary day. But then, out of nowhere, a man approaches, armed and dangerous. The look in his eyes is cold, and without a word, he raises his gun. In a heartbeat, Lila's instincts kick in. She clutches her baby brother tightly and sprints toward the house. The man seems unfazed, recklessly firing as if he wanted them dead. Days later, the man was identified as Jaden Clerk, a name completely unknown to the family. Luckily, Clerk was arrested and sentenced to 4 years in prison. That's all for today, folks. If you want to see more of these disturbing encounters, click on the video on your screen.